right, this is the code I've been getting. It's P0128. It relates to the thermostat, and in my case, the thermostat is stuck open, so the car is not heating up because coolant is flowing right from the beginning, and the automotive engineers want this engine to heat up, so they want the thermostat closed for the first while. Okay, so I'm replacing my thermostat because I think it's damaged. That I used for this job, I've done the job. Stepping back and cleaning up. Replacement part, obviously, that's a thermostat. An O-ring which goes right around the edge of the thermostat when it fits into the engine body. You'll need a socket wrench. That's an 8mm socket. Look, disclaimer, models change, so if it's not 8, it'll be 9 or 10 or whatever. You'll need an extension, you'll need a channel lock wrench, and then I'll show this later, but when I pull the hose this off of the thermostat, there's a bunch of there's coolant in there, and I take the clip right off the valve, right off the hose, put a piece of plastic around the end and reclamp it so that I don't lose too much fluid. Little tip. All right, and then what we'll be doing today is basically just replacing that thermostat, which is this unit here that's bolted into the engine block. There's 2 bolts on that. You don't get replacement bolts when you buy the thermostat. Just so you know, you do get a replacement O-ring separate, so you have to buy that separate, and I would suggest you do buy the thing separate. And then also, I would use a towel or something, and I'll show you later because it gets a bit wet in there. All right, so this is a real easy job. It should take 30 minutes max, and good luck. I had the cowl on in the previous clip with the tools. Just remove the cowl to get at the thermostat. You just pop it up and it comes right off. And when you're at the end, I didn't show up, but put it back in, obviously. Okay. I also want to point out this part. This got me a little angry. This little hunk of plastic and a little bit of metal was $300. And actually, the Napa and other automotive sites about the same price as the dealership. So I can't believe that I'm spending that much money on a thermostat. I think that this is a diesel engine. It's a Mercedes engine, and I think it's just the Mercedes brand. It comes with this price. You can see I also like a towel around here. When you do squeeze the hose, the clamp, fluid will start squirting out. So just get as much as you can. Like so, you can see the squirting out. So I'll just continue this with 2 hands. Then go ahead and pry this hose off of the thermostat. Okay, so probably, I don't know, cups and liters, whatever, 200 ml probably drained out. And then the thing is with the hose, I'm going to try and support this hose at the front so that this fluid doesn't leak out. So what I just took a piece of plastic, put it over the end. I took the clamp right off, put plastic over the edge and put the clamp back on, and it'll just keep it from dripping out a lot, okay? Now you can do this if you want. The last time I did this, I'll tell you, see that bolt right by my thumb? And there's a second bolt right there. Those are the only 2 you need to remove. That bolt by my thumb, I dropped it. It fell out of the socket and it's buried in the engine somewhere. No idea where. So you can see what I did. I just wrapped this towel all over, so if I do drop the bolt, it'll catch. You'll find trying to get the bolt out is a kind of a pain in the ass. So you can see how I've got the extender. I got a long extension, and you just have to feed it between the 2 high pressure hoses here and get it on the bolt. The bolts are out. That's what they look like. So they're in imperial, they're about 1 inch long. All right, thermostat just comes right off, so just wiggle it out of there. There you go. I always like to just compare my parts, my old to the new, and those look good. And I just want to point out, see the green O-ring in there? You'll be replacing that. If you bought an O-ring, I would suggest that you do. Put the radiator back, or thermostat wrap back in. It does fit. There's a channel, a mating channel between the thermostat and the engine block. What I would do is don't put the O-ring in first when you do this. Just get a feel for how it sits, and then get comfortable with the angle that this should be coming out at, just to make sure you're happy with the final placement. And then I've got the O-ring right on the thermostat itself, and now put that back in. And then, like any part that requires multiple bolts to secure like a plate onto another receiving plate, don't don't super tight in the first bolt. Just hand tighten it down to where it touches. Then put the other one in, and then do a couple of back and forths until you're happy with the tension. All right, that's in nice and tight. And then what I'll do is just reattach the hose. All right, there's the hose back on. There's also another little clamp down here just to tie off one of these hoses, so just put that back on. If you had an engine light which lit up and it was related to the thermostat, put your reader back into your car and clear the code, and you should be good to go. Okay, so this is really strong. Oh, and then also since we did spill a little fluid, you'll want to top up your system a little bit. There's a separate video you can look up on bleeding your system. Note that in this case, since the thermostat is so high up, you don't need to drain the fluid at all. Just let it drip out of the top a little bit. But there is an air bubble right now, like about, exactly from the level underneath the O-ring to probably here. So there's about that in imperial, it's probably 2 cups. Whatever that would be in mLs, I can't remember. But you want to run the engine and bleed out the air from the system. Okay. Anyways, good luck.